All right. Well, yeah, we're on.
I think we don't need to really say our names anymore in the intro.
Yeah. Okay. I think we should get an on-air light.
No, we don't need that. That would be cool though.
All right. Hey, welcome to the 7th episode of the Empty Head Podcast. We're here, and we're
Queer.
That's it, folks. We're done. Wrap it up. Season 1's over. Are we doing seasons? No, we're not.
Yeah, we can do seasons, like, let's say by episode 20 we just take a break or whatever.
Yeah. Are we Conan O'Brien yet?
No.
Damn it. Yeah, so I was looking into uploading the podcast to Spotify and other mediums, so then it's like, oh, you need an RSS feed, which I don't even know what the fuck that is. So I go on RSS's website and it's like, make a free account. And I was like, okay, cool. So like I look at, like, it's like, here's how you do a podcast feed. It's like you make an account and you make your podcast, and it doesn't say anywhere that you have to pay. So I make an account and I'm like going to it, and then like as I'm making an account, it's like, all right, credit card details, and I was like, what? $10 a month. And I was like, what? And I went back to like the main page where it's telling me what to do, and I like read through every single line, and nowhere does it say you have to pay to do this. And it's just so annoying how companies do that. 'Cause
Yeah.
like, what the fuck? So
Just sneak up on you and
yeah, I can't
put it in
can't-
your face at the
Can't
end.
get this on Spotify or Apple Podcasts yet, but I'll probably just put it on SoundCloud so people can listen to it without having to
Listen to our mixtape.
Yeah, dude, I got my mixtape on SoundCloud. So how you doing? How's your week?
Oh, it's good. Earlier, I guess this week, but the end of last week on Sunday, I woke up with like a sty, just big swollen eyeball or eyelid. It's gross. I had to go to urgent care and get a bunch of medication for it. So
The doctor just punch it out?
no, it's pretty gross looking, and now it's just kind of back to normal.
Yeah, I could see one of your eyes is a little more puffed up than the other.
Yeah, but not as much as it was.
Yeah, I bet.
For sure. But yeah.
That's nasty.
Other than that, I haven't been really doing much except for work. You know, watching whatever I watch. You know.
Yeah. Me too. Since our last episode, which was a week ago, I watched every episode until the last episode of Atlanta.
Yeah. And then last week's guest also started watching Atlanta.
Yeah, Simon also started watching Atlanta. Excellent show. I'd recommend to any of you to watch that.
Yeah, it's so good.
It's so funny. Like Donald Glover and Zazie Beetz and
Lakeith Stanfield.
Darius. Yeah. So good. Darius is like my favorite character.
Yeah.
He's just always on some weird shit, but like in the best way.
You notice the descriptions for the episodes?
Yeah, they're hilarious.
They're so good,
They're
and
so
especially
funny.
when they're like the Darius episodes.
Yeah. Oh my god.
Darius has been tripping on some shit, like stuff like that. It's awesome.
So good. Yeah, you definitely watch that show. It's on Hulu. Well, if you have FX, like you probably have some sort of FX streaming thing.
Yeah, I don't know. You might be able to get it on
can find
demand
it
or
on the
something.
internet. Everything's on the internet.
Yeah, except for The Last Dance. It's not on the internet.
Actually, no. I looked it up on like
Torrenting?
stealing websites, and it's on there. Yeah, it's on.
Well,
like,
it's on. Of course,
like
it's on
Pirate Bay.
torrent websites, but like I don't know how to torrent.
I got like a VPN because it was like $80 for 2 years, and I was like, okay. And then like I tried it out, but like it's significant. Like obviously, it's gonna slow down the internet a bit, but like really slowed down my internet. Like even if I was connected to an American VPN, it would still slow down my internet.
Did you try watching like the first episode?
No, I didn't even bother because I was just trying to figure it out. So then I was like, what the hell? And then NordVPN is like, oh, 30-day money back. So I was like, just give me my fucking money back. It's like $85. They were like, oh, did you try this? I was like, just give me my money back. I'm
Not even gonna bother.
Yeah. But, it doesn't matter. I could just torrent it. Like, I'm not going to get a VPN just for one thing, and I don't care about companies stealing my data because I don't know.
Just Just a shill. That's what you are. You're a sheep.
Shill, yeah. No, it's just
a
like
corporate shill. Sheep.
If they
wake up, sheeple.
If they yeah, obviously it's terrible that they steal and sell data and all that, but like at this point, there's nothing I could do about it. I mean, there is something I do about it, but like companies already know so much about me, so it's just kind of like,
whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't really care.
They're always listening, so it is what it is.
Yeah, I have an Alexa in every room in my house.
Yeah.
I'm not even joking.
Yeah.
I'm glad that Jeff Bezos is sitting there listening to me yelling and screaming at Counter-Strike or whatever.
Yeah.
Or like, cooking some food or something.
He uses that to influence whatever ads pop up.
Yeah.
All that data.
All that data.
All those CSGO ads you keep getting.
Sure. He uses that to he plays them back on a tape, like an old school like tape recorder, even though it's all digital, to like the president, and he's like, "You see, Mr. President, this is
the Nixon tapes."
Threat. Yeah, exactly. It's just like, imagine like all that stuff is on some big Amazon computer, but Jeff Bezos uses like an old shitty like tape recorder, and it's just like you can't understand what anyone's saying with it.
Yeah, that'd be pretty good.
Speaking of Jeff Bezos, I was talking to a friend, and she was like, "Oh, I watched this video about that, like, put his wealth into perspective." And then I like found that video on YouTube like the other day, and it's like, he's worth like $120 something billion or whatever.
Yeah.
And that's a lot of money. That's 1 billion is 1,000 million, and I can't even you can't even comprehend a million. So imagine 1,000 of those.
Yeah.
And it's just like, wow.
Yeah. I mean, he eclipses the GDP of like small countries, so it's kind of crazy.
Yeah, but like he doesn't just have 140
it's
whatever
tied up in assets.
Yeah, and assets
not
and
actual
stuff. It's mostly Amazon stock, real estate, cars, whatever.
Yeah.
Assets. Because if he just had 143 billion cash, that'd be crazy.
Yeah.
Apparently, as CEO of Amazon, he only makes $81,000 a year,
really?
Which is like a reasonable salary, but like
he probably gets most of his.
It's mostly from stocks.
Yeah.
Which is insane.
I bet the majority of his contracts are negotiated as he gets more stock than actual paycheck.
That's what it is. That's how they get. That's how like corporate people work.
Aside from some CEOs who have massive packages to get millions of dollars and whatnot.
Yeah. But in turn, they get like 5% instead of probably his like 20 something percent.
Yeah.
Which is it's ridiculous. Eat the rich. Not really. I couldn't care less. Maybe tax them harder. More equitable, not equal, because equal is like everyone the same tax rate. So equitable, I think, is the word, where it's like fair based on their income. Some shit like that. I don't know. Semantics.
Yeah. Semantics.
You could just chalk anything up to semantics. Imagine just using that as an excuse. I mean, that's basically what, not to get political, but that's basically what, Trump does, right? It's like, good people on both sides, and it's like, oh, semantics. Like,
yeah.
No, you can't do that.
Oh, it was just a joke.
Oh, it was a joke.
It's the biggest excuse of the fucking White House.
Wasn't there something recently where, he said something really terrible, and then, his PR person was like, no, he didn't mean that. And then he
joking.
He doubled down on it, that he was serious.
Yeah.
Was it the mask thing?
I don't remember. Nor do I really care at this point.
Yeah. Come November, we'll see whether or not Kanye gets into the Oval Office.
Yeah. Hard time for Kanye stans.
I was just going to say that. Yeah, I am in pain.
Well, we pointed out yesterday when we were doing some stuff, was that ever since he went on stage at the Grammys, it's been a hard time for Kanye stans.
No, I'd say it was a little after that.
Well, actually, I said 2016.
Yeah, 2016, because...
And then Simon said it was no, I was when he went on stage, but 2016 definitely.
No, because when he went on stage with the Grammys, it was like Taylor Swift, Taylor, you're great, but was it Beyonce should have won the Grammy?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, he did it twice.
Yeah, but like that's like
twice he was out Beyonce. Too.
Yeah, that's like the asshole rapper persona.
Yeah.
Which is still like a stupid thing to do, but it's the asshole rapper persona. Now he's just a maniac.
Well, yeah. But then there's like the whole Yeezus thing. I mean, come on, like.
Oh, like his brand?
Yeah.
Yeah. His brand is awesome though. Sorry, I gotta adjust my chair. I
don't really care for it, but it's whatever.
It's not. I'd never buy a pair of Yeezys or like whatever.
I don't like the way they look either. So
there's only like 2 of them that actually look cool, but for the most part, they look kind of weird.
In terms of shoes, it's like mostly just Jordans that I think really look decent at all, or like Air Force Ones.
I'm not like a sneakerhead, so I wouldn't.
Yeah, me neither. But
no Jerry Seinfeld.
Yeah,
it's so. Jerry Seinfeld, the fact that he's a big sneakerhead is
and a huge car guy. It's awesome.
It's the funniest thing ever because he's this old, like Jewish comedian.
Yeah,
who's a sneakerhead and also a car guy because he's filthy fucking rich.
Yeah,
and it's like
It's so funny watching comedians in cars getting coffee where he just steps out of the car and there's just these sick-ass Jordans he's wearing or something like that. It's awesome.
He's driving like a 1960s like whatever and he steps out wearing
just
Jordans.
Some completely unique car.
Yeah, and like he's talking to like Alec Baldwin or whatever and it's just like what the fuck is even going on here?
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
I don't know.
It's awesome though. It really is.
Good old Jerry Seinfeld.
I wish I could be a sneakerhead. It's just expensive.
It's expensive as fuck. Yeah. It's an expensive hobby.
Yeah.
A lot of hobbies are just ridiculously expensive.
Yeah.
Excuse me, I had a burp. The sody pop is not helping. Yeah, a lot of hobbies are expensive. Like Pokemon card collecting or, pop heads.
Yeah, well, I saw like this post on Reddit. It was like, ask Reddit, like, what hobbies get less expensive as you delve deeper into them. And basically it was like
knitting.
Yeah, stuff like that. Whereas like someone said blacksmithing because it's like it's always expensive. So it's like it doesn't get less expensive. Right, it just sort of.
I saw one where it's like, what are hobbies that are not expensive? And it's knitting or like
writing.
Yeah, writing or like, not coin collecting, just like things, like little things that you can do.
Things that are a little bit more trivial, sort of.
Yeah, because, anyone can start writing or knitting because the means is so available.
Yeah.
The thing is
cheap. And cheap.
Yeah, and cheap, yeah. Because, like, I could buy pen and paper and just go. I have a laptop, I just start typing.
Yeah.
I could buy, a knitting kit or whatever the fuck, the needles and, like, some yarn and just get going.
Yeah.
I think I'm going to take up knitting.
No, you're not.
Imagine me, like, sitting on the rocking chair by the fireside knitting, like, a sweater.
We're all frail for some reason.
Yeah, I'm like an old grandma. Hey, Garrett, how you doing? I give you, like, a really itchy, tight sweater.
Yeah.
Yeah. I see myself in that position.
I do want to start writing short stories, though.
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
This is another hobby, yeah.
Oh, okay, wow.
Yeah.
What, like fiction, like sci-fi?
Just whatever comes to mind, really.
Wow, that's actually really cool.
Just draw inspiration from dreams or whatever, like most people do, so.
You'll have a compilation of short stories at some point? Get a publisher?
Maybe.
Whoa, if you published a book, that'd be sick.
That would be sick, yeah.
Damn. I think I want to publish a book at some point in my life.
I started keeping, like, a dream journal on my phone.
I've been keeping just a regular daily journal on my phone for like today would be 245, I think. Almost a year. That's just nice, writing down your thoughts or whatever. But a dream journal is different because the more you write down your dreams, the more you remember them.
Yeah.
How long you been doing that?
Well, the other week I had like a string of dreams all on one night.
Whoa.
And I haven't really had any since, but because I had like 3 in a row and I remembered them the next morning, I was like, okay, I got to write this down. I got to start keeping track of this sort of thing.
Right, okay.
So.
That's nice.
Yeah.
Damn, that's really interesting. I could see some short stories coming out of you.
Yeah, well, like.
Tales from the Crypt.
Writing and like. I also have like a guitar hanging up in my room that I haven't gotten around to just because it's such like a daunting task, but I still need to. So I'm going to have to start on that at some point.
You got plenty of time.
Exactly. But it's like, it's so daunting. Like, it's just...
Where do you start?
Exactly. Like...
You, get like master class.
Yeah, it's expensive.
Who teaches who teaches the guitar master class?
Somebody probably really great.
Dead.
I think Paul McCartney.
Class. Is it Paul McCartney?
Maybe. I think so though. I feel like I remember seeing an ad, but I don't know.
Deadmau5 has a master class about making beats and like dubstep and shit, and I think I'm gonna.
That'd be kind of cool, just doing beats on like your laptop or whatever.
That no, I would never do that. I just couldn't. I don't have rhythm. I ain't got rhythm.
It's whatever. I mean,
that's from Phineas and Ferb. I ain't got rhythm. Yeah. But yeah, I could see you playing guitar. Okay, if I were to learn an instrument, I'd want to learn saxophone.
Yeah, I think you've said that before, not on here, but to me. For me, it's like guitar number 1 and then piano number 2.
Oh, you want to be a nerd?
Fucker. Piano's sick, dude. Don't.
Everyone I know plays piano, except for like you. But like literally all of our friends are like, yeah, I used to play piano as a kid. It's like, why is that? Every kid, my parents never made me learn an instrument.
Yeah, me neither.
And I asked my mom like recently, like, what? How come you never sent me to like piano or like violin classes? She was like, you didn't really seem like you gave a damn, so I didn't take you. And I was like, wow,
it feels like it's usually like, it's like 3 routes. It's like sports, like guitar or piano lessons or something like that, like music lessons, or both.
Violin. Or both, yeah.
Yeah, and it's like very rare cases for number 3.
Yeah.
It's mostly number 1, and then there's a lot of number 2.
And then we win in none of those.
Well, I did 1.
Oh, you played sports?
Yeah.
But like, when did you stop?
Like 8th grade.
Okay, yeah. So,
I mean, that's like childhood though.
Yeah, yeah.
So
for little kids. No, I didn't do any of that. As a kid, my hobbies included reading, which is weird because I hate reading now. And obviously like video games or whatever.
Well, reading was another one of my hobbies too.
Yeah, and I'd mess around with like electronics and shit.
Legos,
yeah, but like everyone played with Lego. No, I mean I really played with Legos, but I'd like take apart like RC
electronics and stuff like that.
Fuck with them.
That's cool. But yeah,
I guess that goes to show why I enjoy what I'm studying now.
I still love reading, but like so I don't know. I don't think inconvenience is the right word, but I feel like it's the word I need to use to read.
Yeah, yeah.
So
it is just like I'm still halfway through the Great Gatsby and haven't picked it up since March.
I'm still 3 books into A Song of Ice and Fire. I started that like 4 years ago.
Wow. What? How many? There's like 5 books.
Yeah, and then I'm like halfway through 1984, which I started reading in like March.
Oh, that's a great book.
Yeah.
Well, I read recently. I was watching a video about like comic books, like which ones should you start at, and
there's another expensive hobby.
Yeah, it is
collecting that.
Hobby. Batman Year One. I bought a copy, and I started reading it. I actually finished it because it's really short. Because it's just 4
issues or whatever.
Yeah, but they like they compile
it's
it one
like
book.
A graphic novel.
Yeah,
yeah.
I really enjoyed that because it's like Batman starting off, and like he kicks a tree in half, which is what a feat of strength. Like it's impressive if someone like tears an apple in half with their bare hands.
Yeah.
But like imagine just kicking like a tree in half. Like that's obviously it's fiction or whatever, but if someone was that strong, like they'd be able to kick someone in half.
Yeah.
I think.
Well, I just remember the scene that I always go back to in Age of Ultron is when they're chopping wood.
Oh yeah,
and he just fucking tears it in half.
And it's like, what?
It's like insanity. Like just to comprehend somebody being able to do that. Like
I wonder how they.
It's probably like paper mache or something like that.
Yeah, it's either paper mache or they split it already and then they made it seem, because how he was holding it made it seem like it was together, and then he kind of like.
Yeah.
So maybe. That's a good scene though.
Yeah.
But yeah, and then there's another part in year one where he's like, because Batman has like big theatrical things he does, but like, you never see the setup of that. So one of the things he's like setting up like a light, like a spotlight, and like, you know, a smoke machine, and he's like narrating to himself like, okay, here's the plan, I'm gonna jump through the window and say this and do this and then vanish and the lights are gonna go out, and it's just so funny like seeing him set that up, because usually you just see it happen. But it's good. Have you read it?
Year one?
Yeah.
No.
I'll toss you my copy if you like.
Sure, why not? Of the essential Batman comics, I have one, and it's Dark Knight Returns.
That one's great.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've seen the movie. I haven't read it, but I know it's great. I read The Court of Owls.
I've heard that's really good.
Issues. Those are really good. That was like freshman year when I read them. Freshman year of high school. Excuse me. Fucking never drink soda while doing a podcast, folks. Yeah, Court of Owls, that one. I want to read, okay, because there's like some of the DC ones, there's like, you know, weird spin-off ones.
Yeah.
So like there's one where Batman, it's like, what if Batman was a Green Lantern? Like, I want to read that. Like, that sounds awesome.
Yeah,
what a
lot
cool
of
combination.
Yeah.
I think it's called like The Darkest Night or something. What other superheroes? I don't know.
There's a lot. I want to get into comic books. It's just expensive, you know.
Yeah.
There's so many great stories there can be read, but like it's mind-boggling because like graphic novel is like $20, ranging from like $20 to like $60 or something like that. Mm-hmm. And there's so many stories, so it's like just you'd have to drop like $500 to have like a really good collection or something like that.
It's ridiculous, but you know, it'd be nice. My dad was telling me how when he was a kid in Lebanon, he used to buy like Superman comics, but they were in Arabic, which for me that's just a funny idea because I've only ever seen comic books in English. What do you? And then like you know, obviously they were super cheap because it was like the 70s.
Yeah.
You know, even for them, it was
70 cents or whatever, something like that.
It was probably like 10. Hold on, maybe like 20 Lebanese pounds or a lira,
which is like
call them nothing here.
Yeah.
It used to be like maybe like that was probably like 70 cents, but now that's not even like an amount you can get in Lebanon. That's how inflated the money is. The smallest amount is 250.
Yeah.
It's like a little coin, and then the smallest bill is a 1,000. When I was okay. So, since COVID, the inflation in Lebanon has gone up like a bunch. Last time I was there, 1,500 pounds, about 1,500 pounds, was $1. Now it's like 8,000.
That's crazy.
Or something, probably worse.
That's insane.
And it hasn't even been a year.
Wow.
Yeah.
Inflation's a weird thing.
Because it's all like just... I mean, it's sort of just made up.
It's all in the mind.
We can't say that on this podcast.
It's one of the things I always think about when it comes to like the economy. It's like all this shit's just like we just accept it.
Yeah, the economy, money, social, whatever. It's just like all right.
Math.
Did you say
like,
math?
Yeah, in a sense, like math. Like you just accept that.
Yeah,
because it works. But it's like
it works. Yeah,
but it's like. Yeah, this math is just math.
Yeah, math is math. Like, we accept stuff like that, you know? And it's really interesting just because it's like, what? Why? I guess because we naturally, like...
Organize.
We organize, but we, like, prefer to have some sort of, like, some stable form of whatever. So I guess an economy that's stabilized just works for our brains or whatever. I don't know.
Yeah.
It doesn't make any sense. Being an economist, for me, it's just like, that's just random numbers. And somehow you figured it out, you figure them out, and then you play the game better than other people.
Yeah. It's interesting. It's all very interesting.
It's too stressful.
Probably, yeah. The thought of being a day trader, like, scares me.
Yeah. My brother, like, does that sometimes, and it's just like, That's a lot of money you're playing with.
It's crazy.
It's crazy, man. Burp. Burpity burp. Yeah, it's all made up. Nothing matters. We're all just pawns in the grand scheme of things. Simulation. What other stupid things? The red pill.
Yeah. Have you seen the Family Matters, Key and Peele?
No.
You haven't?
No.
Oh man, it's so good. It just reminds me. It's like the main the dad, the guy who plays the dad, Peele like plays him,
Okay.
and then they like EP is like played by Key, and then it's they get into an argument over the fact that the show has become Urkelmania. It's all about Steve Urkel,
Right. Okay.
and they have an argument. And he's like, "You're just a pawn in that little nerd's game," and then it's like the twist is that like. He's just like this controlling mastermind who's
like a puppet master?
Yeah.
Okay, I gotta watch that now.
So good.
Key and Peele, like their skits are so good.
Yeah,
Like,
they're great. They're
they were-
so like original and
Yeah, they were really good at stuff like that.
yeah.
But they decided to end their skit career.
Yeah,
But
to
they're doing
bigger and
great
better things. A Key and Peele return would be amazing, but like,
Yeah.
I mean, they're doing better than ever.
Yeah, well, I mean, Jordan Peele, he's making movies.
Yeah,
And Key is
he's just acting. I mean, like
he's acting, he's hosting.
stuff. I can't remember.
Hot Ones, the show with hot questions and even hotter wings. Apparently they have a game show now.
Oh
on, like, television.
yeah, I
saw
saw
an
that.
ad for that.
I saw an ad
today.
for that.
And first of all, that's big for them.
It's huge. It's actually huge. Like,
But also, like, it kind of ruins the allure of the show for me.
I haven't been watching it for a while, but I don't think it does. I think it's like, well, let's make it a game show to see if people can do this sort of gauntlet.
Right.
But
yeah.
the whole point of it is that like it makes the interview more interesting. So like, I don't think the allure is necessarily gone. It's like, oh, we can make more money off of this too.
Right.
Like,
Well, because the game show's for, like, not...
exactly,
people, yeah.
exactly. So it's like, let's see how, we've seen celebrities do the gauntlet. Let's see if normal people can do the gauntlet.
I just hope they don't take their show off of, like, their, like, YouTube and their website and, like, move it to...
I doubt it. They'd still get so much like
What if-
publicity from it and like
What if it was,
views
like,
and whatnot.
A 60 Minutes type...
That would be interesting.
Hot Ones, a show with hot questions.
And Sean Evans is the host throughout it all, and
Yeah.
yeah,
And it's like, they're eating them really quietly, and it's like, so. Have you ever sat through an entire episode of 60 Minutes?
no,
I don't think anyone has.
I catch like some of the more interesting interviews from it, but
what
like
an interesting show.
yeah. Well, it used to be like the number one show ever for like the longest
Yeah,
time.
it was big. Didn't the guy die a few years ago?
I don't know who you'd be talking about.
The
main 60 Minutes guy. Yeah, I don't know
Yeah.
who the main 60
I
Minutes
don't know
guy
his name,
is,
but I
so.
know he passed away like recently, or not relatively recently. He was old. I think he was like 90 something. I could be wrong. I could be totally wrong.
I don't know.
Maybe he's never dead. I'm gonna get an email, a really angry email from the 60 Minutes guy, like, how could you say that?
I'm still alive, you
Come
asshole.
on my show. Come on my show so I can berate you. Have you ever seen Larry King?
I catch like clips of it sometimes.
Yeah. It's funny because now he's like a podcast guy, but he has his interview show. It's just funny because I remember him on CNN. Because my dad watches CNN a lot. He's a big liberal snowflake. But seeing him on CNN doing interviews on CNN about like news and like politics or whatever, it's just really funny because now he's just strayed so far from that, and he never really seemed like the type of guy to do. He's more of like he's a funny guy.
Yeah.
So it's weird. Like I wonder how he got roped up into that.
No idea.
Weird.
He's just always doing interviews too. Like
Yeah.
he's always interviewing people, but that's such a. I guess because they probably wanted him on because people probably thought he was very well informed, which I think he is.
Yeah, he is. But like now on the show, he's like smoking a cigar and he's like, "This is bullshit." You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's how I want to be when I'm his age. Just an angry old man that people
Angry
adore.
TV host.
Yeah, yeah.
interviewing people.
Yeah, that's exactly what I aspire to be.
Yeah.
Smoking a cigar, like, what the fuck is wrong with these people? Yeah. What else have I done? I don't know. I got a new graphics card and a monitor. The monitor came in dead pixel or stuck pixel, which means like it's just always pink.
Yeah,
Yeah, I told you about this yesterday, but
that's annoying.
So fucking annoying. It's like $200. Like, oh my god. And Amazon. Okay, so I told Amazon like, hey, like you fucking sent me a stupid broken monitor, basically. They're like, oh, here's a refund. Buy a new one and then send back the old one. The new ones are sold out on Amazon now, and it's a really good monitor. It just has a dead pixel. So I emailed the manufacturer warranty, because I found out that they had a warranty after I dealt with Amazon. And then they emailed me back today, and it was like, okay, send us all these details, and then we'll get back to you. And then I sent it to them, and they probably won't get back for another, 3 days, because company warranty policies suck, and they never, ever want to cash those.
Yeah.
Have you ever, dealt with warranty?
No.
Okay, companies always do. They have a warranty, but their warranty department deals with things so slowly, and I think it's on purpose just to get people dissuaded from cashing in the warranty.
Yeah.
Which makes sense. If I was a giant company, I wouldn't want to be handing out free
You consider just buying a different monitor?
Yeah, probably. It's just because I found this one and it was perfect, and it came in where it is, how it's situated, how it looks, and everything. It's really great. I love it. So I'm now comfortable with it. So I prefer just the same thing.
Yeah.
Because I had to get used to it because it's very different than my old monitor. So now that I'm used to it, I'd rather not having to go through. But if I can't find it, I'll obviously buy a new one. But I'm guessing this warranty is gonna work, and they'll just ship me a new one.
Yeah.
But Amazon gave me my money back, so I'm gonna have to contact Amazon. Hey, do you guys want your money back? Or Amazon, they'll probably just give up. No, just keep it, which is great. I don't have to. I won't be as broke anymore. That'd be a really interesting victory on my part. Swindling Amazon again.
Again? When was the last time you swindled Amazon?
I've swindled Amazon a few times. My mattress.
Interesting. I didn't know you were a thief.
It's $1 trillion.
When they come into power, when they're the first corporate president of the United States.
Yeah, Jeff Bezos is almost Lex Luthor. So
he's already got the bald head.
And the money.
Yeah.
He just needs to become president and kill Superman.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's true. But I'll be leading the revolution anyways against the corporate. I was talking about this with one of our friends today. I became the socialist guy at school. Even though, we literally went to school with people that called themselves communist, had read the Communist Manifesto, and would keep it on them at all times. And yet I was the socialist guy, or I was the communist guy. I guess
even though you spouted how much you loved America or whatever.
Yeah, I'm a pretty patriotic guy, when it comes to America, which, sue me. So, why am I the communist or the socialist? It was obviously a big meme.
But that's because you just, you had the bravado of socialist dictators.
Oh.
Getting angry and be like, man, I love the Soviet Union, just offhand and shit like that. Stuff like that. Well, I used to do that to you too.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Don't pretend like you didn't know. I mean, every once in a while, we just walk around saluting. God, what cringe compilation. No, but yeah, I became the communist joke or whatever. It's annoying.
Yeah.
I didn't appreciate that.
I know.
Yeah, you bastard. You and all the other people listening.
Yeah.
You know who you are.
It's only because it was true, man.
What if I just dropped a bunch of names? Jimmy.
No, stop.
Vincent.
Stop. These people aren't real.
What's his name? The SpongeBob episode with the hat.
Oh, Smitty Werben
Yeah, Smitty.
Man Jensen. There we go.
Yeah. I always forget that because it's not a normal name.
Well, he was number one.
He was number one, though. Yeah, I can't.
He was number one.
What was he number one at? Just life?
I forget. I don't remember the plot of that episode. That? They might have. I don't know. He was number one. That's it. I don't know.
He was number one. SpongeBob, me boy. We always talk about SpongeBob. Anyways.
It's hard not to.
How did we even get here? Jeff Bezos is Lex Luthor. That's one thing. And another thing is that I'm also the next Jeff Bezos. Watch out, America. What happened?
Somebody tried to open the door. Oh. It's locked.
I'm telling you, we need an on-air light so that wouldn't happen.
Well, I mean, the door being locked is enough, you know.
I don't know, man. An on-air light would be awesome. I'm gonna see how much those cost. Anyways, or at least just a red light, you know, a recording light.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's enough. Like a studio thing, like on studio sets, because this is our studio.
Yeah, I guess.
I mean, yeah, no one really knows. Not no one. You guys wouldn't really understand what it looks like, but what we got here is working better than you'd think.
Yeah, you know.
The audio quality is apparently really good.
It's quite crisp, in fact.
Yeah, all thanks to your audio engineer, Garrett.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I handle all the audio stuff, you know. It's just a passion of mine.
Everything is recorded on my laptop with almost all of
and then he leaves
equipment.
it here.
Yeah,
and I
leave
edit.
It with Garrett, and he just
I work my magic fingers, you know.
He really just tweaks it to perfection.
All those levels you're hearing, that's me.
The levels,
that's all me.
You sit there with all your dials and knobs and shit, and you're it's all analog somehow. You somehow we use Adobe Audition to record a digital software,
and I somehow do it with
analog stuff. Yeah, it's really interesting.
Yeah.
I don't know how you do it. You have
it's just a talent of mine.
You have those big computers that are on tapes, and you're just to perfect it, and it's like a giant room just for one computer because it's 1950.
Yeah, it's exactly what it is.
Yeah.
Same computer they use for the space shuttle.
The Challenger.
Yeah.
That's the one that exploded.
Yeah, I know.
Oh, okay, I see. They retired it for space stuff, but they gave it to you for audio recording.
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm. Good, yeah. That was actually one of Ronald Reagan's executives. Was he? Yeah, he was president when that happened. Yeah.
Do you remember what happens in Glow?
Yeah.
That's such a great moment.
Oh my God. It was I was just like, holy shit. That was really good, though. I like how they spun that in.
Yeah.
Because, that show, it's set in the 80s or whatever, but they never really, brought in historical things. I think that was, the first, big historical moment they spun into the plot.
Yeah. They do it really well.
Yeah.
It's really funny and, sad at the same time.
Yeah, it's a tragic comedy. What's that called? Yeah, sure.
A tragedy.
Yeah, but it's also funny, so it's a tragic comedy. I don't know, it's some Shakespearean bullshit.
Yeah.
Oh wait, that is. He straight
I always thought my life was a tragedy, but then I figured out it was a comedy.
Yeah. We all seen Joker, okay? We've all seen him, do the thing.
Yeah.
On the talk show with the guy.
Murray.
Man.
Oh man.
Is your back hurting?
Cracked my back on the chair.
My back
and I just felt it
This week, Garrett and I exerted ourselves a lot physically. Working.
Moving rocks,
yeah.
Yeah, a lot of rocks.
We basically just moved rocks from one big pile and just made little piles around.
Yeah.
But that was painful.
That was very
painful. With our good friend Simon as well.
Yeah, Simon helped out.
Yeah, moving rocks is not easy, folks. Don't let the media lie to you and tell you that it's easy, because it's not.
Don't let the liberal media lie.
Yeah. I've also been playing tennis.
How's that?
With our musician Sean.
Nice. How is that?
Expect him on the podcast at some point once we get a new mic. It's fun, I played a few days in a row. it's the first time I've like exercised in a while.
Yeah.
Because like when quarantine first started, like I started going on runs, and then I just stopped. I mean, because Ramadan started, so I was fasting and like running. When you fast, obviously you can't do that. But then at night when you're not fasting, I'm too like tired or
filled up on food.
Yeah, or just not in the mood to go on a run. So then I stopped, and then I just never went back on it. But now, playing tennis is nice.
Yeah.
It's a nice form of exercise.
It's so hot these days. I don't ever want to do anything.
Yeah, his tennis court, well, we play at like 5, 6, so it's like cooler. But his tennis court, I mean, you've been there.
Yeah.
In his neighborhood is like really shaded, so it's fine.
I remember like one side of the court being shaded.
Yeah, one side. No one's ever there, so it's fine. But even when, like at the time we play at, since like the sun is mostly down, both sides are pretty shaded.
It's very nice.
Okay, so one time we were playing, and then like these like tennis coaches came in with these little kids, and then they're like showing them how to like play properly. Because him and I, we just like rally. We don't actually like play.
Yeah.
We just rally, run around, and dick around. So them like teaching the kids how to hit and like proper movement and stretches. I just felt like an idiot. I was just standing there like hitting it like a jackass, and then I was like, can we just leave? I just felt like a dumbass. So awkward. You know what? When that happened, okay, all right. So here's the thing. When that happened, like one of the coaches that walked in was a woman, and she was like hello, and I was like, oh hi. That's a very American thing.
What?
Greeting like random people.
Oh yeah, I always go like I always see on Reddit.
Yeah,
it's
like Europeans are like,
yeah, people don't say hi to each other.
Yeah, like no one else does that. If I okay, like the only country I've like really been around in is Lebanon. If I went around Lebanon and like walked past someone and smiled and like waved and like nodded or like hello, like how are you, I'd just get my ass kicked, or I'd get like a dirty look. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It'd just be like, why are you like who the fuck are you and why are you talking to me? That's how it is everywhere else in the world, and it's really funny that here in America, like the norm is you see a stranger, you say hello. Like why is that? Why are Americans extra nice?
I have no idea. Way to toot your own horn. No. Our own horn.
No, not even like in a good way.
Why are Americans so nice?
We're not extra nice, like extroverted, like more so than other.
I couldn't tell you.
Cause like
I appreciate it more though, even though like
as an American,
I'm awkward as fuck. I don't like. I'm so glad I have to wear a mask now, so I don't have to fucking smile at people. Like I was just thinking about that when I was picking something up for delivery. I was like, as soon as I walked out after getting whatever I was picking up, I was like, I'm so glad that I have this mask on, so I don't have to fucking smile at somebody and say, "Oh, thank you."
I don't like think of smile. I still instinctively smile at people.
Well, yeah, me too, but I don't.
Like, but they can't see it. But yeah. I still do it. Like, I just can't stop myself because I'm so used to it.
I do that, but it's like at the same time, it's like,
it's nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I get that. Because, like, so, I don't know if I mentioned, a while back, in the 40s, the American military released, like, videos like, know your enemy, know your ally. I think I talked about this before. One of them is about Britain. And one of the points is, like, in Britain, they don't talk to their neighbors. Like here, you sit on your porch, you have a beer with your neighbor, you talk, you socialize in the neighborhood.
Yeah.
In England, people put big old hedges around their houses so they don't have to talk to their neighbors because everyone sees each other because the cities are so compact. And it's really interesting, like, we're aware of that, but we're just like, okay, since we have so much space here in America, let's just, socialize more.
Yeah.
I guess that's probably why. It's because, like, people are so distant. Or were so distant. Now it's just like everyone.
Well, it just depends on where you are.
Yeah. Some states have like 10 people in them total.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Looking at you, Montana.
Fuck you, Montana.
No, it's really beautiful. Like,
yeah.
The place is kind of awesome.
Is that where Mount Rushmore is?
No.
Where is that at?
That's in South Dakota.
Yeah.
I think. I could be completely mistaken.
Fuck South Dakota. No, not really. I don't hate Mount Rushmore. Even though I guess I should now.
I didn't know it was built on like a sacred
land.
Mountain or whatever.
Yeah.
But like I saw the history of that mountain. It's like the previous tribe before that got taken out by the tribe that declared it sacred or whatever, and I was like, oh, it seems like it's the
same thing.
Yeah.
I get it. I of course, the Native American treatment by the American colonists was fucking
horrible.
Terrible.
Yeah.
There's no excuse.
Well, it's like, but just back to like humanity is always just like fucking with each other, like no matter what. And it's tragic, but it's like it happens.
There's no piece of land on this planet to this day and age that is ruled by the same people that found it or started a civilization.
Yeah, I mean, Golan Heights, stuff like that.
Yeah.
Like, there's always conflict over something.
Yeah. Like, I mean, no, not even in like Japan, which was never invaded by a European country. Even within their own thing, they had a bunch of different tribes, and then one tribe just got stronger than everyone and wiped everyone out. Yeah. Sure, they were all Japanese, but they were all very different. Some of them had different languages. Some of them even looked different. Like they didn't look, Japanese. So like the way the Americans went about it was pretty terrible.
Well, it's just the cycle of human history.
Yeah, it's just how it goes.
Unfortunately.
Yeah, you really hate to see it. But what if they got rid of Mount Rushmore? What would they
How would they go about doing that?
Just throw a bunch of dynamite in the
No, like getting like the public behind that or something like that. You know what I mean?
I think most people would be like, who cares?
Yeah.
Because if you want real reform, like do something. There's a bunch of memes about this, but it's true. It's like, ooh, get rid of the statues. And it's like, please reform healthcare, or please reform the police. Please reform something. Like actual change, systemic change that will actually benefit people. You get rid of a statue, like, sure, like a terrible symbol is removed, but it's not changing anything.
Yeah.
People will still be racist. Cops will still kill people because they're given, gats. Man, the cops are strapped. Have you ever, how like when you're little at like elementary school and like they give you the tours of like a cop car? Have you ever done that?
No, I never did that.
Oh, really? Okay, so I did once, and it's just like terrifying. Cop cars are genuinely scary. So you get in the front and it's like nice. They have like the laptop.
Yeah.
And then there's like the thing
separating. Yeah.
There's like an M16 and like a fucking
shotgun. Yeah.
And like there's extra pistols and a bunch of bullets and like spare cuffs and a dash cam and like a bunch of other shit. And then you go in the back and the seats are hard plastic, and like you can't open the doors from the inside, obviously,
yeah.
And like you can't even open the windows, or if you do, the windows have like the grates as well, and it's just like a little prison cell on wheels. It's just weird. It's just so weird how much power a bunch of high school dropouts are given. I'm sorry, this is very political today. But
yeah. No, it's like the whole episode being taken off Netflix and stuff like that. It's like, this doesn't actually do anything.
Like the Community episode where Chang is, in like quote unquote blackface because he's a dark elf.
He's a drow.
Oh, yeah.
That's the joke.
Because it's Dungeons and Dragons, Advanced Dungeons and Dragons. But they're taking it off Netflix because it's quote unquote racist. And it's like, that's not doing anything. It's just corporations like,
it's just
look, we
PR.
care. Yeah, it's PR.
It's not. It doesn't actually. It's not actually changing.
They would have donated a bunch of money to Black Lives Matter or to a bunch of people's foundations that are in memory of people murdered by police officers.
Yeah.
If they actually gave a shit, but no, they just it's all just what's it called? Virtue signaling.
Yeah.
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 That's just how it goes. Like, DoorDash sent me an email and they were like, we're donating $1 million to the Black Lives Matter Foundation. Like, wow.
Yeah.
That's something.
Yeah.
I could be, I'll probably get fact checked. Like, actually, it's really like $10 because tax. It was like, okay, whatever. But $1 million.
Yeah.
That's something. Not pretending to give a shit.
Yeah. Exactly.
That's like if Hulu got rid of all the Atlanta episodes because someone says the N-word. Even though they're black.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I mean, that one episode with the radio guy.
Oh yeah,
the white guy.
Yeah.
Oh my.
I was like, that was like so cringy to watch.
So there's an episode where Donald Glover's character like pulls up to a radio station, and one of his friends worked there, and then his friend like gets out of the car and he's like, "Hey, what's up?" And then they're talking, and then is the first time he says it when he's telling the story.
I forget, but
he
just keeps saying it.
The white guy just keeps saying the N-word to Donald Glover's character, and it's just so funny because it's so cringe. And Donald Glover's character is like, yeah, and then the white guy walks in, and then like a janitor comes out who's like a black guy, and he's like, has he ever said the N-word around? He was like, no, but I'd beat his ass if he did. And Donald Glover's so confused, like, what the hell? It's like really well written. That's exactly how those people are, though.
Yeah. Well, then it's great when he brings like Paperboy and Darius along, and it's just like never uttered.
Oh yeah, he's like, "Hey, tell him the story," and then he says the exact same thing except for the part where he says the N-word.
Yeah,
and Donald Glover's character is like, "What the hell?" So good.
It's so good. It's like a Michael Scott level cringe.
Yeah,
it's
like his character was that level of cringe. I love that show. It's a shame that obviously production has been halted.
Yeah,
due to the Rhone.
Yeah,
Le Rhone. So if this disease came about in like medieval times, what would they call it?
I don't know.
The Black Death, but that's because people, like, their skin straight up went, like, they had big old lumps of dead skin or whatever that went black or some stupid shit. What happens when you get COVID? You just sweat a lot, right?
It's, like, hard to breathe or whatever.
Right, yeah, and you get put on a ventilator. Do you get the sweats, though? Yeah, you have really bad fevers.
Yeah, it's like flu-like symptoms.
Oh, so,
the big flu.
The big sweats.
Except that's not what it is at all. So it's like
no, that. I mean, yeah, if it was the Middle Ages, they wouldn't. Okay, I love middle-aged doctors. Or when was the Black Plague?
It's like around there.
Yeah, so because they were nothing. It was guys with sticks to like move around dead bodies.
The bird masks with flowers in them.
Flowers in them to like they weren't doctors. They were just a bunch of because there was no medicine. It was just.
I mean, there was, but it was like very.
Yeah, it was
very rudimentary.
They were like, "Oh man, you're sick. Let me slit your arm open and drain some blood out of you."
Yeah,
because there's a bunch.
Use leeches.
Yeah, bad blood in you. Or I was watching a Vox video about the Spanish flu, and it was like the accepted theory for a while was a diaspora or something, which is like a cloud of sick, and it just kind of moves around. And it's like, no, like it's not that simple. And then it's just like. It's so crazy how people accepted the stupidest shit, but like, what are we accepting now as like science? But in like 100 years time, people are gonna be like those fucking idiots. Probably
Maybe.
that the Earth is round.
I think more people would be like those fucking idiots because they're gonna see all the anti-mask stuff.
Oh yeah. Oh definitely, cause like, bro, mandatory masks was a thing in America literally 100 years ago, like to the T. The 20s always suck.
Yeah.
Every 20s decade sucks.
The Great Depression.
Well, it started in 29.
Yeah, but,
Oh, my God. That reminds me. A new episode of Perry Mason came out.
Maybe when Joe Biden gets elected, it'll be the Roaring 20s.
I think you mean Kanye West.
And then when the next guy comes in, it's going to be the Great Depression Part 2.
It's going to be the sad 30s. Is there a name for the 30s? It was so depressing.
It's the Great Depression. That's it.
It was so depressing that they never gave the decade a name other than the Great Depression. They never gave it like the fuck you 30s or whatever.
Yeah.
What about the war years?
Yeah.
The first half of the decade. Tom Hanks was on Conan O'Brien and they were talking about the World War II movie that he made. I want to watch that, by the way. It's on Apple TV Plus.
Yeah.
Apple TV Plus because I got it for free for a year when I bought my iPad. They were talking about how a lot of people thought the war was not going to end until like the 50s.
Yeah.
Which is really because like at the beginning of the war, at least like but when America got in 41, like no good news was coming out.
Yeah.
It was loss after loss after loss. So, like, because now we look back in hindsight, like, yeah, the Germans were screwed. Like, from the jump, they were screwed.
Yeah.
But, like,
at the time, they didn't know.
Yeah, at the time, no one understood that Hitler was a raging drug addict maniac and that the system was falling apart.
And that the U.S. was, like, an industrial superpower.
Yeah,
like
that the United States was literally, like, building the greatest army ever. And that the Soviet Union was amassing so many troops that at some point they would outnumber the entire population of Germany or whatever you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, it was just ridiculous. So I could like imagine at that time thinking like, holy shit, like,
this is never gonna end.
The Germans are gonna take over the world. Like in, every Wolfenstein and Man in the High Castle or whatever. Okay, have you played the Wolfenstein games?
No.
Those are fun. But in the second one, it's like you're in America after like the Nazis take over. And there's a part where you're walking around in like a suburban neighborhood. And it's like, you go into a diner and you get a milkshake or whatever. And it's like, you have to start learning they have to start learning their German because the Germans are taking over.
Yeah.
And there's a part where there's like Nazi officers just casually talking to like guys in KKK.
Yeah. I saw that in the trailer.
So funny. It's just like, what a thought that, like, what an interesting thing that would have been. But now it's the president of the United States talking to people in KKK robes.
Yeah.
Wow, that got real sad. Well, we'll see you guys next week.
Yeah. It's great to have you guys. Glad you could listen in on this one.
Glad you could listen to us talk about nothing.
Yeah, we'll be back.
Eventually. Next week. We'll be back next week.
Yeah.
Yeah. See ya.
See ya.